from our last tale.
Her pen is empty.
Sazian, do you happen to know where Buttercup is?
She's with her trainer.
Can we say that Snow was writing the entire time? Writing a
Absolutely.
letter?
Ste'yn will subtly hold out her hand to Beau in case he wants to take it to get through the ward on the door again.
I don't take time for conversations with dark things. No, certainly not.
But some of them are intelligent enough to speak.
Oh, not Midnight Beast. No.
When Viola hears that, her head snaps at Snow and says, "It's your birthday?"
Yep, that was the day y'all decided to kill people.
Have you changed that much over the last few hours?
I think your illness is getting to you.
There were a few questions that we had just to tidy up a few things that had taken place.
But when I mentioned getting paid for helping back there, you said there was nothing.
Nothing that we can give, certainly.
You just said that you get plenty from the city.
For basic needs. And then the two of them bid you all farewell. And they make their way out.
As they start to leave,
Mhm.
Snow stands up. Before you go, I have a few questions. What did you do with the crown or rubies specifically when I gave it to you?
Certainly. You could have asked sooner. He comes back a little closer so he's not talking across the room. The crown I took to a space that we have much more secure below Saker's Keep, banished the fiend that was within it, and found it to be the metal itself otherwise perfectly fine. The rubies, as I said, interesting. So I removed them in order to study them further.
How did you remove the fiend from the rubies?
Not from the rubies, from the crown as a whole. I banished it.
The rubies seem to maintain some sort of magic afterwards.
Indeed. And he reaches into a pocket of his robe and he produces two of these rubies. So you see two probably inch-long gems in his hand. There are more, but I've kept those aside just to be certain. These definitely still have magic about them. Where are you all how are you all seated in this room? Gaworo is standing just about here now, so he wasn't shouting across the room. Nora was seated, she was where Bria was sitting, so sitting across from all you guys. Rochelle had gone to get tea, and then she came back. She was probably standing like yonder. Where were you guys otherwise?
So if they're primarily over in this area,
Generally, yeah, they're on this side.
Ste'yn, were you sitting there? Is that what you were saying?
Ste'yn's probably standing right around
okay.
here.
Lovely.
And I was picturing then Beau would probably be leaning, because there's a support beam there, right? That's what this is?
Here?
Yeah, these things?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
so he's leaning over at the support beam standing.
Viola's probably sitting in one of these two seats. I'm guessing that's probably where she was sitting to begin with. And then after she got her assignment back from Nora, she would have sat back down in one of those two seats.
Over here?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get a sense. And Snow was on the floor, like along the wall.
Snow was sitting on the floor over here against this pillar. Originally, I said against the wall. I was picturing like right here, but I didn't realize that there was a pillar in between them. So we'd actually sit against this pillar so that he can still see everyone. But then he stood up when he started talking.
Okay, but he's still standing back.
Yeah, he's still over here.
Ste'yn, can you please make me a charisma saving throw?
You know, we're gonna be fine.
Wah,
That's
wah.
a 8.
We're gonna be fine, it's an 8.
Fine!
I'm sure the
Not a
DC's
natural
only
one.
4 in this, right?
Definitely. As he's holding these rubies out, you're looking at them, and you have that same thought in your head. These things are exposed, and this is dangerous, and you really ought to do something about this. This is not okay that they are just exposed like this. Luckily, your teacher is nearby, and certainly he understands that as someone who taught you, you also are totally capable of handling and protecting your friends from whatever all of this might be.
Ste'yn will reach over and tip him saying, I can keep those safe.
To which
Here
Goro
she goes
closes,
again.
Goro closes his hand, and he'll put his hand on yours that is reaching out. I'm certain you can. He steps away from you and walks over towards this pillar back here.
That's where Snow is.
I thought Snow was by the closer one.
Nope.
No.
Oh, I'm
Right
sorry.
here.
Then we're gonna go step over here. He has put distance between himself and the others. And Ste'yn, his words are like this blanket just covering your mind. You still kind of want to go and take that off of his hands, but you are not completely inclined to just go and try and take them. But there's a yearning in you, but also a respect for your teacher.
She'd probably move a couple steps closer, wouldn't go all the way.
Ste'yn.
He'll take one of the rubies. The most interesting part that I found was that these appear
No
to
cast
be...
detect thought while he's speaking.
Okay. And you see, he holds up the ruby, one of the rubies, and his eyes are on you for a moment, Ste'yn, before he's kind of takes in the whole room. These, I don't have the full answers. I won't have those until the guard is finished with their fuller investigation of where these came from. And then I think it will make a lot of things very clear to us. But first, these little rubies, I learned are more than just little rubies. And he takes one and he hits it against the column. And you hear this cracking sound. And then you watch as this little stream of blood goes down the column. He takes the other and he does the same. But this one, he lets crack, like smash entirely. So he's left with just pieces in his hand. Nothing's fallen to the floor. He just has these pieces in his hand. The other one was simply cracked and it was dripping. So when he turns it, it's no longer like dripping out. And Ste'yn, you no longer feel compelled to just like run towards it. He looks over to you, Snow. You certainly were a very suitable option for keeping your friend safe and taking this upon yourself. Being less inclined to cave to others' whims. Aglin comes up to him and he's holding out some kind of little bag that Gaworo can put the pieces that are left in there. And he doesn't touch anything with his other hand. He just keeps it to his side.
Has Gaworo thought anything other than what he's been saying?
His mind has been very focused on these rubies. As he's speaking, he is looking at he's just thinking of these. And you can kind of...
anything about them that he's not saying, though? Is he concealing anything?
He does not appear to be concealing anything. What you can see is, as he's finishing up with them, it shifts back to that room. You kind of like see images of that room that he was in, and that door, and the door like sliding open. And you can't fully make out like what all he's thinking about in there. It's very dreamlike, but you know that there is some kind of other room, and you can sort of see vaguely like the image of a ruby.
As Aglin approaches, Snow will switch to reading Aglin's thoughts as he's accepting the rubies.
Aglin, you get a sense of great concern from Aglin as he's approaching. He's thinking about the blood on Gaworo's hands right now. And he's definitely not giving the outward appearance of concern. He seems to be just going along. And you know that Aglin has an attitude of calm about him. But right now he feels very concerned.
Snow switches to Ste'yn and to see what she's thinking.
She's thinking about how much she trusts Gaworo and the rubies. Like, she's not wanting to run over to them, but she's curious about what just happened.
Anyone else you want to check their minds?
Not yet.
Aglin has begun cleaning the column, and he seems to be making quick work of it with some type of cloth. It was previously this gray, and he's cleaning, and it's swiftly dampening and becoming darkened by the blood. But there does not appear to be anything left on the column when he is done, and then he moves closer to the others. He nods again. I look forward to learning more once we get word back from the guard, so we can get to the bottom of these rubies. The crown, however, I assure you, has no other magical properties about it once the fiend had left it. I hope that's satisfactory.
Once he started speaking, Snow switches back to him just to see if he's thinking anything contrary to what he's saying. But if that's all he's saying, then...
As he's talking about the crown, you get a flash of this much darker room. It looks almost cage-like, and you don't, as their thoughts, and thoughts are moving quickly, they can jumble a little, but generally you can see, first you see something bright gold, and then you just see this pillar of darkness. It looks wild, it looks awful all around, but it still just appears to be kind of this thick, dark column, almost like a plume of mist. But the way it whips about looks violent and vicious, and then it's gone. As he finishes his thoughts and nods to the others, I must continue on my rounds There were some others that Aglin and I need to visit today. But if you do have other questions, and if there's anything more that I can help with, please do let me know. And of course, always come back to Saker's Keep. You are always welcome. They will politely make their way out the front door.
When they leave, Snow will turn his attention to Captain Nora, and at this point, they will have to recast Detect Thoughts because it only lasts for a minute. Well, I'll spend another charge to recast it, and as he asks her, "What happened to you, and how did you get covered in blood?"
She will turn to look at you. She is definitely hesitant, but she starts to recount. What she says is, well, after you made your way back, Moonridge and I still had to find Helene. So we continued the investigation with the beasts taken care of, and we did in fact find her. Unfortunately, at that point, it was too late to help her. Something about the area must have been still cursed, trapped. Some sort of trap went off, and Moonridge and I were caught in it. That was where the blood came from. Something about it, I don't know. That was all I remember before I woke up. What you see, she does not appear to be one who is good at hiding any kind of thoughts or emotions, and certainly if she doesn't feel like she needs to. What you see is that same dark outcropping space. You see all those dead trees and that one really thick dead tree that was towards the bottom. You see a grave. It's not very deep, but you do see what appears to be a statue in it. And then you just see a sudden just rush of blood. It looks like a tidal wave suddenly struck. And that's all you kind of get from these outward thoughts.
From the grave, or
just kind of
from a different direction? From
these outward thoughts, you just kind of get this rushing thought of just this tidal wave of blood. It's kind of hard to tell in general. There's a lot of it's a lot of feeling though. There's like abject terror running through these thoughts. Unless you'd like to dig deeper.
He looks to Moonridge. How did you not get caught in the blood?
Well, you should assume, but I did in fact get caught in some of it. Well, our good captain here, what she fails to mention, and he seems to ignore this sudden, like her head snaps towards him, this sudden like pointed look, as if she does not approve of being spoken of such a way. What Captain Nora did was find Helene's body, or what was remaining of it. It had been petrified. It was just all we saw, and there was a grave, or a number of these little shallow graves behind this great dead tree, and in it there was what I thought was a statue, but as it turns out it was a Goliath body, familiar armor, an arm reached out as if it were poised to strike, but it was stone, and sadly, everything from the shoulders up was cracked completely off of the rest of the body. At which point I informed the captain there was nothing more we could do for her that to assist. Had even we been able to revive her, we'd be headless, and that's hardly something you would want to do to someone. Not a warrior, soon-to-be warrior, but she insisted that we could take her body back. And certainly, I could agree to that. She rushed, however, and as she reached in to touch the body, the ground gave way. She slipped and fell. I nearly slipped, but before she even struck the ground, the ground was moist, then it was wet, and there was this pool forming. This bloody pool. Captain was well within it. At this point, are you still doing Detect Thoughts here?
Yep. If he says anything contrary or deceptive to what he's speaking.
Did you shift it over to Moonridge? Or are you still on Nora?
When Snow looks over to Moonridge, he's reading his thoughts.
Gotcha. Yeah, he seems to be speaking quite truthfully in this regard. And the thoughts are just following his account from his perspective. So he's watching Nora touch this statue, and he's watching her fall, and as she hits the ground, she's splashing, and then this blood is rising up already like above her, and it fills like a 20 or 30 foot deep sudden crater in the ground. He says that he thankfully is able to fly and is able to get himself above it, but seeing that the captain was still in there, he dove down to get her. The moment I touched this blood, felt like half my energy was drained away. I could barely get her out, let alone get myself out. Then, once we were finally able to get out, we made our way back, fortunately covered in this stuff. I had to get most of it off myself before I could even attempt to get it off of her, but we were back by the time I was able to get all of it off. So she was quite a sight. Knew Vaughn wouldn't like it when he saw, but there we go.
So, two things that I want to see if I can try and check for Beau is if one, he's ever heard about or encountered some kind of blood booby trap thing. And also if he's aware of like potential creatures that may have caused like a petrification state like that. I don't know if one would be survival, one would be history or something like that.
You can do a nature check for the creature.
Okay, yeah, I always forget nature's even on this list. Alright, so for the creature, that is a 15.
So remember that time Beau was like, hey, I see these things outside, and the others were like, just leave them alone. And Beau's like, I don't know. And they were like, just leave them alone. They're not hurting anybody. Those were cockatrice. Cockatrice have the ability to scratch you, and you begin to become petrified.
And then for the booby trap,
You can roll me an intelligence history check.
that one is a 18. I'm getting so many good rolls today.
You haven't heard of one like this. The way that Moonridge described it, this is unusual. This is not something...
Oh, this one's unusual. It's not the
This
standard
seems
variety
unusual.
blood trap.
There have been other blood traps that perhaps you've come across in the circles that you may have kept at some point. But it doesn't, it might be more something like, hey, they're blinded, or hey, it's poison, or something like that. To have to touch a body, and then, like, this whole elaborate setup feels weird. But, like, maybe, but it feels weird.
Okay.
And as Moonridge finishes recounting the story, Nora she's looking at him. She doesn't look as pointed, as upset. She almost looks a little bit shocked as he's telling the story, and she continues to look at him even when he finishes. Give me a perception check.
Who?
Any who is looking at Nora.
22.
I got a 7.
10.
No, looking at her?
No, he's looking at Moonridge until Moonridge finishes, and then he's gonna look at Vaughn.
Lovely. No, Beau, you're probably thinking about what kind of blood trap you can come up with that you've seen in the past. The lady is watching Nora. She seems like she's focused on Moonridge. She's intent while he's speaking, but you also kind of watch, like, she seems to, like, be blinking very hard as he's talking. Ste'yn, you get this sense, like, she, despite how she looks, she is acting like she is still quite exhausted. General sense you get from Vaughn is he's just pissed.
Well, once Moonridge stops speaking, Snow turns his attention to Vaughn and asks him, you said before that you had orders that didn't come from Captain Nora, something to keep close to her. Who do your orders come from?
He looks at you, almost surprised that you're addressing him so suddenly. While I appreciate you watching out for the captain, this is beyond the debrief, so it's not necessary.
What name comes to mind when I ask him, though? Snow didn't expect him to say it.
Of course not. Of course not. He is still mainly thinking about Captain Nora. That's just like forefront of his thoughts. But for a brief, it switches over while you're looking to another person, and he's thinking about the man on the wall in the dining room.
Thank you. And
he kind of like...
Snow turns around and walks out the front door.
No, not again.
Which
You
one's...
make a habit of this.
Which side's the front door?
The bottom.
Bottom
Bottom.
of
Oh,
the
okay.
photo.
This one.
Captain Nora, I think we've bothered you quite enough for one day. You should probably get some more rest.
He shakes her head. I appreciate that. I'm fine. I will get more rest. But if there's anything else you need, I think this is sufficient to brief. But if there is anything else that you need, please, I will be available.
We appreciate that.
Thank you
You
so
don't
much
have any further
for-
questions?
Nothing immediately comes to mind. I think I have questions for Moonridge. Also, Bria, are you supposed to be here? I was told you were on duty today. To which Bria flinches.
We asked her to come. It was at our request.
Give me a deception roll.
No!
Yeah, you can't have any
No!
fun without a little Bria.
No!
Does that help? Does that offer guide? I mean, does that give her some help by him chiming in, supporting her claim?
No, but you can have inspiration because you're a good teammate.
Dang it!
Did you ask me to roll deception?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That's
roll
a
high.
2.
Cool.
Or not.
She looks at you, Viola, and she nods her head, looks back at Bria, and says, I'm so glad that you are so attentive to our novices. You are really making a truly fantastic impression. Now please go back to your quarters.
One last thing, Nora. Captain Nora.
Mm.
You said Helene died of petrification?
That was the state that we found her. I don't know if she died that way, or if she was that way before she was petrified, to be perfectly honest.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Of course.
Thank you so much for signing our paperwork and speaking with us. And Viola will get up to leave.
If you are taking another assignment, do keep in mind that there are festivities that hopefully will lighten the mood coming up soon. I'm sure the city would hate for you to miss it.
Yes, and as far as our assignment goes, who do we talk to about what we get to take on it? My understanding was that we get supplies from you all.
That would be the one.
Potions, those things.
We certainly wouldn't want you to be unprepared. That would be the ones who have requested your assistance.
Which was who? Does Beau know who was requested?
Peace Watch?
What'd you say?
I think
Huh?
it was the Peace Watch.
Mm,
We need to go
yeah.
get them to sign it too.
The
Yeah,
Peace
that
Watch.
sounds correct.
Really,
Okay.
Bria, but she suggested you go to the Peace Watch. Nora stands to see you out. Ste'yn with that 22 from before, from watching her. You see she stands and she has one hand very tightly gripping the arm of the seat she stood from. And after a moment, she lets it go. I appreciate you coming at such short notice and to go and recount everything that happened unexpectedly. I think you four will be a phenomenal addition to Grashimino.
Thank you.
We're just here to serve.
Good luck then. And Vaughn will move over towards the door, kind of motion you all out.
Is he just standing by it?
Yeah.
Viola will walk out the door.
And we'll follow.
No, quickly
Okay.
patting her back.
Yeah, okay, I guess Beau's gonna follow.
With or without touching Ste'yn.
I don't know, did Ste'yn go before Beau could?
Look, Beau seemed to have no problem getting through the door second ago when he came in, and he hasn't seemed in any sort of distress or worried about it.
Quick decision, she's
for
on her
it.
way out.
Wait, so she's not through yet? I thought you were saying like she was already through because of
Stay-
this.
She's not waiting for Beau,
Okay, yeah, he's on his
but
way
that doesn't
out.
mean Beau wouldn't be able to. Yeah.
He'll try to go out at the same time.
At the same time, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. You make your way. You see Ste'yn heading out, come up behind her, and you exit the door. Give me a perception check, Beau.
Okay. Should have done that one with my inspiration, but I didn't. Say it before, that's a 1.
Okay.
That's what you get for saying you've been having good rolls. You jinxed it.
Every time you go out the door and you see Vaughn for a moment, and then he closes the door. The carriage isn't there anymore.
We had to walk back again.
Do we see snow out there as we go outside?
Did Snow wait for them this time?
No.
All right, where did Snow go?
Why would he? Snow is making his way toward the mercantile district, but specifically he is looking for a place from which he could mail his reply to Terran.
That's not too difficult, even if you had to ask for direction or whatever it was. We'll say by the same sort of like watch command, whatever they might have here in the Rally District. There's a place you can mail it off or get it ready to be mailed out.
Alrighty, he sends that out.
Where are the three of you headed while he went off to go do that?
I guess we.
If we're looking for Snow, maybe he went to the Not Mundane Arcane to talk to Fate. He mentioned some things about Fate because of the whole dinner storytelling situation, so I don't know if maybe he went to talk to her or not.
What time of the day is it now?
By this point, it's probably nearing 11.
Not even 11 yet.
You guys started very early.
Might as well try for the not mundane arcane then. And if he's not there, who knows?
You peek your head, like you go inside the shop, check for him, because you don't see him outside.
Maybe
So we
we.
look outside, peek our head in. If we don't see him, then
You peek your head in, but you don't see him inside the little shop either.
I guess we go to the stables and wait. We need to go talk to the Peace Watch.
We need to
Where
get
are
back
they
to the
at?
Peace District.
Okay. It makes sense that they would be in the Peace District. Peace Watch. That tracks. So I guess we should head back to the stables.
Big brain
and
time.
try to
Well,
catch
that's
a
also
ride.
where they should have the people that we detained, right?
I think
Yes.
that's where he said they were.
So we can talk to them as well, and I should get those back. Yes, let's go there. But Ste'yn will, standing outside Not Mundane Arcane, is going to cast Thaumaturgy and yell, her voice booming 3 times as loud as usual. Know if you can hear this, we're looking for you, and we don't appreciate this. We're headed back. And that's all.
And it goes through the streets.
So how long will it take us to get all the way to the Peace Watch?
I'm hoping we can hitch a ride because when Viola got the assignment, which has now been signed, she's supposed to be able to get rides to and from the Rally District and the Peace District
True.
whenever she
Well,
needs
that's
them.
true.
So I'm hoping I just walk up and I say, hey, Dorcam and Torval said that I'm supposed to be able to get a cart back to the Peace District because I'm here on assignment and we can just skedaddle.
Sure. Let's see how well they pay attention. You said Storkum specifically?
Yeah, she would have said his full name, Storcam Ians, and
Yans.
Torval was the one. Oh yeah, I forgot it was
like
a J,
yams.
not an I.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you name dropping that way appeared to be very effective. And not just any cart, but another very nice and very large, like too large for 3 people carriage is prepared for you with this really nice looking horse, like beautiful mane and just like a gleaming coat, very well behaved as it almost seems to like bow in greeting to you as you approach. It's a very good horse.
Viola pets it before we get in the carriage.
Professional nuzzle. Just the one. 2 is too many. 2 is too friendly. Just one. It knows the rules.
So do we have to navigate the horseback, or is there like a rider for it?
I'll leave that to your request. Viola, would you like someone to also drive you back?
She would say if someone's available that would be preferred, but if not, she could probably take care of it herself.
The man that you speak to nods and goes inside the coach house. Another man comes out, and it's a familiar man, the one that you had seen earlier when you were pretending to be companions or under the watch of Lord Grenell Bronstone. Aaron comes back out, and he
Oh yeah.
nods and he hops up into the horse. I hope your day's going well, and he's ready to go, and he will take you back.
So did Snow was too far away to hear?
No, Snow, you could hear it from where you were. You can't quite catch the rest of it, because as she's speaking and the words are reaching, it starts to garble, but you heard Snow just echoing in the air. So it's up to you if you wanted to follow the voice. It's distinctly Ste'yn's voice.
Nope. He will move in the opposite direction.
So the 3 of you make your way back to the Peace District without Snow. Snow will find his own way back, I suppose. Snow, is there something of great importance you would like to achieve while you are still in the Rally District?
After he finds a place to mail his letter, he's actually going to take it out, add a postscript at the bottom, and then fold it up and send it on its way. And then after that, he's going to look for any place in the Rally District where he might find children.
Oh, definitely. That whole long street that you took to get to the officers' residences or command residences. Further ahead in that street, there were other homes and some green area. But if you head south-ish, there are actually some other small, like, dedicated parks that are near some other houses. Yeah, you might find a couple of kids who are playing around over there.
As he has done many, many times before, he is going to entertain children for at least a few hours. His pan flute, with his illusions, giving them flowers, just anything to make them smile.
Give me an overall, I will allow either an arcana for the magic or a performance check for like just how entertaining it all is. Which one are you doing?
Well, they're both the same amount, so
Excellent.
performance. That is a natural one.
No, the children! So what I'll say is that you start to perform, and you have been doing this for years. You are skilled at these performances, and it looks phenomenal. You did a fantastic job. There were a couple of kids who saw you start to perform. They started to see the famed blue butterflies, and they started to head over. Unfortunately, it was getting just about to a lunch hour, and so they were called away. There were not additional children to enjoy the phenomenal performance, but you performed great. It just went unseen by most. Now, if you want to stay there for a few hours and keep performing, and the off chance that other people do show, you are welcome to, since the plan was to be there for a few hours, but it remains relatively empty.
Yep, he'll just continue that for the afternoon.
Our trio heading back to the Peace District. So it's a simple enough journey. At this point, you're starting to see some more activity along this path. As you come up to the Rising Gate, Aaron takes your carriage and the horses and, calms them. And it is Sazian this time who sees your approach. He starts to walk out. He seems to see Aaron, and then he just stops the doors of the stable until the horse is actually brought to him. And then Aaron starts handling the carriage and all of that.
Viola calls out to him and waves and says hello.
His body kind of moves in your direction, his eyes to the ground, and he kind of nods his head a bit before he starts to take the horse inside.
So have we seen enough on the map to know where to head for this place?
To the
the Peace Watch area
I
thing.
don't think Viola's ever even looked at a map of this place. I think all the times that you guys have been like looking at the things, Viola's not been around.
Well, there was the one time because he finally found the wanted poster. I don't remember what we were looking at specifically that time.
Yeah, Beau, you've certainly seen the map well enough because you've been able to see both maps for the Peace and the Rally District. Yeah, you know that the Champions Ward is where it is housed, and it's at the north. It is the full-on opposite side of this district.
All right, well, is that where we're heading?
I think so. Get some answers, maybe.
Viola's gonna peek her head in the stables really quickly and see if Buttercup's there.
He is not. But Beau, can you give me a perception check real quick, please?
That is a 12, or it can be a 18.
No need to check that out. Sazian has taken the horse to where the horse needs to go, but you do see him in the doorway. The way that he had his eyes to the ground for the others, he does look his head up at you, and he seems to be watching you for a moment, as if anticipating your presence.
All right, Beau will walk over towards him. It's kind of wave. Hello.
Welcome back. You can sort of see a smile through his eyes. Small, but through his eyes, because the rest of his face is covered. I hope I'm not interrupting any important business.
No, you're fine.
I just wanted to say that I've gotten my brother's blessing to take up that offer if it still stands.
Yes, of course. Beau's gonna go into his bag and he's gonna produce a piece of paper that's like somewhat like a letter of introduction, but at least like kind of saying like his name on there and stuff like that. It has like all the writing that you would need for the introduction, but it does not look fancy.
Excellent. Sazian will take it, and just as the conversation is going, you can tell he's just slowly kind of standing just a little bit more upright and a little bit more upright, but never full up like he had before. And he says, if it's all right, I would ask to wait just a little longer. I would like to stay until after the unveiling tour. I want to make sure that I can assist Darmin, as there will be a lot of visitors in that time.
Okay. Well, if you lose track of that paper, let me know, and I will let her know that you'll be making your way after that.
I'll keep it safe with my other safe things.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day, Sazian.
You as well. Beau kills one.
Were they talking in like view outside the stables, or did they go into the stables to talk?
It sounded like he was standing by the door, so Beau just walked over to him.
Yeah, it'd probably be pretty visible.
So if Viola can see them talking when Beau comes back, Beau, why will he talk to you and he won't talk to me?
I gave him a job opportunity.
Well, I
Job
can't offer him
opportunity?
that, so.
Yes.
He has a job.
One where better work environment.
Yeah, I did see that other, can't think of his name, be kind of rude to him this morning, so.
Yes, I think they even have dental.
Dental.
We don't get dental. And I have a job there
Wow.
I know this is a way.
We all
I am
leave
right
and
now.
go.
Helena takes care of her peeps.
And the adventure moves along to Helena Fresco's fun time. Oh my goodness gracious.
Once we get a little bit away, you two are currently standing by him, or are you guys already off a little bit?
We were off a little bit.
Oh, okay. Then he's gonna actually, I forgot one thing. He's gonna run back over there.
As Saz was about to turn right back.
So I have a question for you. Are there many areas that you found difficult to get into around the area? Like
What do you mean?
warded areas or anything like that?
Oh, I see.
I'm just curious. I've heard about those things and wondering if it's true, the rumors.
Give me either a persuasion or a deception.
Persuasion or deception? 19 or a 23.
He eyes you for a moment as if maybe having a thought, and then the look changes. Something much more neutral. Well, there are some places that I'm asked, so to speak, not to go. And then there are other places that if I do try to go, which I haven't, if I was told not to, I haven't, that I was told I can't go. Did you said the word wards that you heard of,
Yes.
right? I have heard of some wards, glyphs of some kind. They say it's to protect the vulnerable. And he doesn't do like a really big sarcastic air quote, but like just by his hand, like low down. Vulnerable from fiends and monstrosities and terrors like that. But I have never seen a fiend enter the city. We've seen objects that are cursed or possessions out in the field. But I mean, at least Darman told me so. But right in our own home, it's much less likely. But it's okay. We know who they're really keeping out. We just keep our distance and do our job.
And was there a place in particular?
I don't know everywhere. I've heard of a few from some others. There's some wealthy homes in the Rally. There's a girl who's a maid there to a family. They have her set up the very wards that keep her in or out of the house. And there's the captain of the guard, his home. He's very protective of your captain, in fact, and I've heard that the house is warded where when she's there, they'll have those wards up. And the labs, anywhere they do research, the artificers have worked magical endowments. It's probably for the best that we're not near anything we might break. Or maybe we're actually of the dark, like they say, and all their weapons might actually hurt us. Maybe they're watching out for us after all.
All right, well, thank you for your time.
Glad I could help.
And I was going to move quickly
Thank you.
towards their way because he feels like he's took away time.
Like he's not going to catch up?
Just to get back some of the time lost.
Sure. So you guys are heading up to the Champions Ward, the Champions
Mhm.
Ward. When you arrive there, it feels very pristine, so to speak. It's not like clean, you know? It's just, there's an air here of like a dedication, just like a strictness in the air where people are just focused on their task. The whole kind of area has that sense about it. Even as you like can see further down from it, heading towards like the wall of the city, is another residential area. Even like that pathway feels just, you're in a very sophisticated, important part of the city. It doesn't take too long to find where the detainment center would be, detainment area, sort of similarly attached to like the sheriff's house kind of thing, the sheriff's building type of deal. So their main offices, and then attached to that building would be the detainment area.
I have a quick question.
Mhm.
The Peace Watch and the Guard are two separate things, right?
Correct.
Okay.
The guard is that third level of the guardian residency, versus the Peace Watch handles like the citizen residency. Right? So how are you guys approaching this?
Ste'yn will head for the main offices. Probably figured it's better to ask there than to just walk into the entertainment center and try and find things themselves.
Viola
Fair
will
enough.
follow.
Does Beau see Canyon anywhere as they're walking around?
When's the last time we saw Canyon? It was earlier today.
Because he was the one that was
Sacred
hoping
City was
to
the one
escort
Sacred
them
City.
out.
Yeah, Canyon's Canyon's there. I'm not even gonna roll. I was gonna be like, what's the probability? Nah, Canyon's a hard worker.
Canyon always works.
Canyon pretty much always works. Ask him about it sometime. Are you looking for him specifically?
He's keeping an eye out because he's going to flag them down because he figures he could help them out.
In the meantime, Ste'yn and Viola, you guys walk into this very nice and tidy stone building. It's not the same kind of decorated as Saker's Keep is, in that holy and separated kind of way. It feels like a commonly used space. It's lived in, but it is still like tidy and organized. There are, it looks like a few areas where clerks can sort of help you out, and they don't seem super busy. There are a couple people lined up waiting to talk about one thing or another, to get assistance with something or other. You hop in like the shortest line. You're probably standing around for about, good thing Snow's not here, he'd be so bored. You're probably waiting around for like 15, 20 minutes, just like waiting to speak to somebody. But you eventually get up and there's a man. He's wearing that same Peace Watch garb as you approach. He's got kind of dark, shaggy hair and dark eyes. It's a nice goatee situation going on. As you approach, he nods in your direction. How can I help you?
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, for clarification, was Beau not in the line with them? Because he was just keeping an eye out for Canyon as they were walking around the area.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because you said there are two names, and I just wanted to make sure that...
I didn't know if you were hanging back. I thought
Oh,
you might have
okay.
been hanging back to keep an eye out. But
No.
if you're with them, yeah, no worries. How can I help you? 3.
We were involved in an altercation earlier this morning, and we're hoping to get some information about the two that were detained from it. And I used personal artifacts of mine to tie one of them up and would like those back.
Ah, I see. What were your names?
Ste'yn, Viola, and Beau.
All right, give me just a minute. And he disappears behind a wall, comes back a few minutes later, and alongside him is Canyon coming up, and he sees you guys. Oh, all right. Well, here I thought I was gonna have to wait all day. Thank you. And he ends up coming around, coming to get you guys. I guess you're as eager as the rest of us were to figure out what the heck was going on here, huh? And he's still got like a real nasty shiner on his face.
Yes, do you want some help with that?
It'll heal. It's fine.
All right, I could help if you want it.
No need to waste any magic on me. I'll be all right.
Have you guys questioned
how
them
does it
yet?
come? They started. These guys, I don't know.
Are
They
they
seem
being
real-
questioned right now?
They took a break.
Can I
they're not that
question
great.
them?
Ooh, that's unofficial. I
It
don't
could be
know if I
off
have
the
that.
record.
You're asking a lot. I mean, if
us
you wanted to be there
apprehending
when,
them wasn't official either, so
I understand that. But rather than put you in any further danger, which I would hate to do,
Oh, I
and
won't be
also
in
potentially put my
danger.
job in danger. Snow, you're scary. You're scary.
No,
Yeah,
Let's
Snow
go.
is my middle name.
Viola looks at Beau very confused.
Just-
Really?
I almost want to make him roll for it, but he has no reason to not believe it. More importantly is that he's
So,
seems
Beau
concerned
Snow.
that he's... Give me a persuasion check, as he seems concerned both with your at least the lady's well-being, and his job.
Okay. Well, Beau really wants to do
Viola
this, so I'm...
helping?
Oh, are they helping?
How loudly were you questioning his name being Snow?
Oh no, I thought it was helping in convincing him to let us go in there. I thought that
Yeah,
No,
because
that's
she
not,
was
like-
pointing out that us detaining them was unofficial.
Yeah, that like the
that's-
whole process started off unofficial to begin with, and she's
Right.
sitting there looking as pretty as she can possibly be.
Sure, why not?
Sweet.
She'll like nudge
That was
Ste'yn.
persuasion.
Persuasion.
So the one I got a 3. The other one I got a 19. So that's gonna be a 26 or a...
No, you're fine. Don't worry about
Okay,
it.
cool. So otherwise it would have been a 28.
No, you're good. He's standing pretty firm, and he looks to the side like he's kind of thinking about it, but you also kind of get the sense he's just looking aside to see who's watching you guys. And then he just kind of slowly nudges his head to the side, as if indicating you should quietly follow him. He rounds a corner, just casual as anything, kind of, if someone is near them, near your group, he just kind of like nods in their direction, greets them, casual as anything, and brings you through a door on the other side of all these little clerk stations. You go in and you enter a series of halls. Each one has a number of these cells, like prison cells. He takes you back and back, and like way back, where the cells are a little bit bigger, but also more isolated. And you reach one where the head guy is. He's sitting on the ground. He's just kind of leaning back, looking up. He doesn't even look at you as you approach the cell. Kenyon kind of knocks on the bars. You ready for a few more questions? And the guy doesn't respond. He looks over at you guys and he kind of shrugs. Just don't do anything that's gonna make me lose my job, okay?
Is there not, like, a questioning room? We just have to question him while he sits there? There's not...
Interrogation chamber.
Yes.
Not exactly. Not like a... I mean, he's a criminal. He's just a crazy guy.
Yeah, but you... So this is just
I
it.
don't
You guys
wanna-
stand behind a bar and you question him like that.
I mean, that's all I've seen so far. Should we be doing more than that? It
Well,
was hard enough just getting him to get in the dang cell.
do you find you're getting results doing that?
Normally, look, most of these guys already know they've done something stupid. This guy knows he did something stupid. I mean, he's told us some stuff, but
Like
What's
what?
he told you so far?
so far he's told us that we're stupid. He's told us that we're all gonna die. He's told us I don't know, crazy babble. He'll get his hands on the crown anyway. I don't know, stupid things like that.
And all of it in common.
Yes?
Just
Are you
wondering.
expecting a different language?
Just curious.
No, just in common.
Can he tell, like, if they're breathing or something? Because he said they're just lying on the floor.
He's breathing. He's just
Okay.
looking. He's
Well, I don't
leaning
know if he,
against
like,
the
killed
wall,
himself
he's
while
just
he was
going.
in there.
No,
Oh my
nothing,
gosh.
nothing so immediately. He appears to be in very plain linen, just sitting back. There's no cloak. You can now fully see his face and his whole form. And he's a tall, kind of broad man. He's got like shaggy brown hair. He looks relatively unkempt. His goatee kind of patchy, like ungroomed eyebrows. Just in general looks kind of shady. Canyon does say that one thing that they got off of him was this little piece of paper, this little piece of parchment. And it was some kind of notice about assistance to find a missing person, that he often runs off, can't hold a job. He gets in, like, he kind of falls in with dangerous crowds, so be careful if you approach him. And it's signed by someone named Tildy Mayer, and it was found in Dranfeld, or it was originally some kind of notice from Dranfeld. And it gives this visual description which matches the looks of this man.
And did you get a name?
Well, he wouldn't give us one.
Beau's going to ring his bell. Hello, sir. Is he going to turn around or anything?
He doesn't respond. He doesn't like look away from you or anything. He just doesn't respond.
Can I go in there?
Oh, you're asking a lot, Snow.
Well, the four.
I really don't want. If there is another dead body and it's on my watch this time,
Oh, he won't die.
I'm going to let you in on this one caveat, okay? I need you to hear me out. I'm working a lot, saving money, and I can't lose this job. Please don't die, okay?
All right. Well, how about we
No
do?
one will die.
How about we pose it to him, sir? Are you going to talk, or do I need to come in there?
He doesn't answer.
All right.
You sound too happy. Canyon kind of looks around. He gets a set of keys and unlocks the cell. And this whole area does seem isolated. Like, it's a fair distance to the next cell. He'll open the gate. He's currently only letting you in, Beau, as you were the only one who asked. So after you go in, he will start to close the door again. He doesn't lock it, but he starts to close the door again.
If you're letting him in there, you probably want us in there.
Why? As he's looking up at you. Why?
I'm the one who's gonna make sure neither of them dies.
And he opens the gate for you.
Thank you. And I used my manacles on this guy to get him under control. Do you happen to have this somewhere? They're kind of important to me.
Oh, those probably wound up in lockup. I'll grab them for you.
Is he leaving us to go grab them?
He closes the door
That's
and
what
he's
Ste'yn's
like,
hoping for.
I'll stay outside and hold the keys.
I can't give you the key. That will
Oh.
definitely make me lose my job. Okay, I will be back in like 2 minutes. Don't do anything stupid. And he will jog down the hall.
Did he lock the door with them in there? Or
No,
leave it unlocked?
it's unlocked. So that you can get... He's unsure
Viola-
what to do in this situation.
Viola will stay outside,
Okay,
but in front of the door.
excellent. Ste'yn and Beau are inside. Viola is outside in front of the door. Canyon has jogged off and he's like, I'll be back in like 2 minutes. And he goes,
No, you
Oh.
can't kill him.
Well, you will make sure that doesn't happen now, won't you?
Prefer to not have to make sure it doesn't happen.
That'll be up to him, sir. He's standing, I guess, over him. What's it gonna take for you to talk?
give me a persuasion,
Persuasion?
please. No,
Persuasion.
persuasion or intimidation.
Alright, I'll go persuasion.
Just him or both of us?
That
Can I help him?
is 25.
I don't think he needs help. As it happens. He doesn't look like he's going to answer you. And then he just slowly turns his head towards you, raises both eyebrows.
Is that your form of saying your talk? What's your name?
Not your business.
Okay, well, now you're talking. Why did you want the crown?
Also not your business.
Is that going to be your response to everything?
No, that one is your business.
Alright.
Yes.
Alright, what will it take for it to be our business?
You're not important enough.
Well, what is your pain threshold, sir?
Haven't had to think about it. Maybe that's also not your business.
Beau's going to conjure one of his daggers in his hands. Well, you see, I have this nice little knife here, and, well, it doesn't cause any physical damage on the touch, and he's going to just move it across his finger to show that it didn't cut anything. So I don't know if you want me to roll damage for that. I will if you...
I'll say you're controlled enough with your own if you're not trying to draw
Alright.
any blood
Cool.
or cause yourself any pain.
So it doesn't cause any physical pain, but it certainly causes mental pain. Now you see, I could just keep poking you with it until that runs its course, but I also found that even though it doesn't cause physical damage, the mind doesn't always quickly dissociate between what is going to be physical damage and what's going to be mental damage. And I also found that you could just kind of linger at the knife, and he's gonna, this time he probably will take damage, he's gonna put it through his hand, and you could see it come out the other end, and it just kind of stay there because he's holding it, and then he'll pull it out. So,
Okay.
I'm fine with
You want to roll the...
Yeah, it's a D6 for this blade. So he
Okay.
just took 5 damage.
Ow.
This is
You
quite
make a
the...
point.
So, it makes me wonder, and he's going to lower it right in front of his eye, how long it would take your mind to figure out whether or not you're losing your eyeball or if you're just having a very bad headache. And he's going to start moving it into his eye.
Ste'yn's going to
Because
reach out at that and pulls Beau back.
Just heal him.
We're not going to play this game that way yet.
He's not answering. We only have so much time before Canyon comes back.
Right. He said we're not important enough. Who is important enough? What rank do you need?
He grins. None of you.
You know, I consider myself to be quite important. Have some favor with some high places.
Who's that?
Wouldn't you like to know? I'll tell you. You tell us one thing too.
You first.
That's not how this game works. Do you want him to stab your eye?
Give me an insight check. Ste'yn and Beau.
This is a great good cop, bad cop routine.
This is fun.
That is 19.
22.
Okay. Oh my. As he starts to grin, you guys notice you're not quite sure exactly what it is. Something in his demeanor changes. Something. As he's grinning and then he was speaking in that back and forth. Something. It was noteworthy. He's just staring at you. I think you want to know more than I do.
Do I? I've held your life in my hands once.
So do it
And you're
again.
here. You might be earning your death this time.
We'll see who decides that.
So do I have the green light now, Ste'yn?
I'm friendly with some deities. They have more influence than anyone else.
Oh? Who's yours?
Who do you think?
I'm not so great with the gods and the like.
How do you know it's not one of the ones of the dark?
Not you. No.
Found a cool temple recently. Seemed worthy investigating, maybe changing over. The gods of the
Oh.
light haven't helped me enough.
You
Been
know,
leaving
you
out a
should-
lot.
You should prove that. They might welcome you.
I think a lot of places would welcome me. Why would I go with your group?
I think we're more fun.
But you know it's also fun? Tell me what your group's goal is. How is it fun? Why should I leave the light to join the dark for this goal, and not another one?
Well, I think you'd look lovely with a little crown on your head.
I do look good in crowns.
And a sea of people chanting your name, bowing in front of you. And you
Don't be cut-
control every single one of them, watching them all.
Be the puppet master instead of the puppet.
That's a way to think about it.
So who in your group wants to wear this crown? Because I can't imagine they'd let a new follower wear it.
Maybe we're just fetching. Maybe it's not for us.
Are you just fetching? Are you that unimportant?
Yeah, you're not ready.
How can I be ready when there's so much I don't know?
We all found our way in one way or another. You just have to leave this place. This place will hold you back.
So far I've learned a lot more about myself here than I have anywhere else.
But as you've shown me very clearly, you've only just met us.
Indeed.
So much to learn.
There's always much to learn. Depends if it's worth learning or not. Is your group worth learning about?
I would say I'm worth learning about.
So this crown, how does that work? How does it control people?
You asked a lot of questions. Tell me something else. Tell
Right.
me, how did it feel?
Does Ste'yn see Beau currently? Like, is she looking over at him at all, or just at this guy?
She's mostly focused on the sky, but she's got a high passive perception that helps her notice things around her.
And how
too.
much is that guy looking in Beau's direction right now? Is
He is staring dead into Ste'yn's eyes.
Beau's going to summon his die that she's seen him use with the mind link and, like, gesture?
Ste'yn will give a little nod, but to cover up that gesture, she's going to pull down her mask as she meets the man's eyes.
Alright, so
tilts
he's
her head a little
going
bit.
to create a mind link that lasts for
Okay.
2 hours.
Says, like
Uh,
everything you ever dreamed of.
And then to her, ask him what you need to do to offer your worth.
That was the next question. We're on same brain.
He's staring you down, and he slowly nods.
Back to
Doesn't
her.
it?
So if I want to feel that again, how would I go about it?
Get me my crown.
Just the crown.
Of course.
It's a beautiful crown. How'd you learn about it? We found it. How'd you hear about it?
All will be revealed. Get the
Right now
crown.
sounds like a good time to reveal it.
No.
If you want the crown, I need more answers. How do I prove my
Beau's
worth to you?
going to link to her. Tell him you're more than some eager blood.
I'm more than just some eager blood.
He actually moves his body now. Like before he was like sprawled out, legs out, leaning back, just eyeing you. And he has been kind of leaning in a little bit more, leaning away from the wall. Now he brings his legs in to sit crossed, elbows leaning on his knees, and now his chin leaning on his chest, and he leans in closer to you. You know the writing? Yes.
Writing on the wall? Yes.
All can be revealed.
I told you, it was a beautiful temple down there. Dramatic. A bit garish, honestly, the decoration, but
That is how I like it.
it is.
Mm.
I want an insight check, and she's trying to see if it seems like it's really him talking, or if she gets any inkling that it's another entity or he's possessed in some sort of way.
Sure.
23.
The moment he started grinning is when you notice the change. There is something different. The grin, the intent stare that had gone from that lazy stare, and this strange switch in his verbiage.
Who am I really speaking to? You're not some lackey. You're not some fetcher of things. Who am I really speaking to?
He leans in closer, as close as you'll let him get, until he is a mere inch from your face.
Ste'yn lets him.
And he says, if you wait too long, you'll never know. I'm already here.
I want to know now.
Beau's gonna. Can't you sense fiends or something like that? Can't you detect something?
Didn't prepare that for this day.
you have prepared for today?
Atala told me not to.
We didn't know we were interrogating demons.
Ste'yn will say, how about we take this game a little more seriously and promise not to lie to each other? And she's going to cast Zone of Truth.
What's the saving throw on that?
That is a charisma save at a 14. He can choose to
Charisma.
fail it.
He succeeds.
That's fine.
And he retorts with, you see, the games and the light are not nearly as fun.
You keep talking a big talk, but you haven't given me much to really draw me in. I've had the crown before. I could get it again. Why do I need you?
I told you, I'm already here.
You're right here. But if I don't know who you are, how will I find you again?
I'm here now.
You are
You know
here.
where I'll be in a minute from now? 2 minutes from now?
Probably in
a
some other
week
poor
from
soul's
now.
body.
Oh, you're the one that set up the ambush on the road for us.
Me? No, not me.
I need an insight check for that one.
Well, I will say, if the best thing you could do for an ambush is some grotesque chickens, you're not that scary.
You always save the best for last. And we got what we wanted from that anyway.
Did you?
Oh, yes.
What's the half-orc that you killed? Trying to start some sort of war? No, sorry, Goliath, not half-orc. Or whatever she was. Ste'yn does, I'm forgetting.
Goliath. That was part of it.
She didn't earn that death, and yet you gave it to her.
I thought she earned it plenty.
That might be one thing the dark and the light disagree on.
You could learn to see it from my view.
I don't like to learn from people whose names I don't know.
Keep an eye out. You might learn it soon.
And if we wanted to
Who
meet...
says I'll be here?
You're right, you might be dead.
I think you'll find I'm hard to kill.
He looks over at you, Beau.
So, do you just hop around from vessel to vessel?
Bring me my crown.
So you'd let me wear your crown?
Bring me my
Well,
crown.
does it really do anything for you if there's no gems attached?
Give me an insight check.
Okay. I'm not good at these historically, so I'm going to use my inspiration. And it's good, because one of them was a nat 1, and the other one's a 15. So it's a 15 or 17. So it's 17 or a 19 if I need to use psionic.
You don't need it. You mentioned the crown without the rubies, and there is this brief moment of pause before it's made up and turned back into just staring you in the eyes with that same grin.
In fact, not only have the gems been taken out? Some of them have been smashed. Turns out there's blood inside of them. Kind of gross, really.
Now you seem to have gotten his attention. Smack.
Yes. Does that trouble you?
I can go about however I choose.
But
you're ruining a perfectly beautiful crown. Why would you do it?
Well, I mean, personally, I didn't do it. I would be fine with selling it. Though, come to think of it, there's blood inside the gems that go inside a crown. That you could wear the crown, it would be enticing. And around where the blood, I'm guessing, is the same as the tub of blood in that little temple of yours. So, dreaming with your eyes open or closed, was it?
And he closes his eyes. And you hear footsteps approaching. As Canyon comes barreling around the corner, he's holding this set of manacles as he's charging towards you guys.
As he hears
profusely apologizing, that took longer than I thought. I'm so sorry.
But right before he gets in, Beau wants to take a quick swipe with his actual dagger at the guy just to draw some blood.
Okay, roll your attack.
All right. And he's going to use steady aim with it, so he doesn't need to move. It's a nat 20. He's not trying to actually harm the guy a lot. He's just trying to get a swipe.
What you need.
So do I have to roll damage since it's non-lethal anyway, or can we just say he's got some blood on his knife?
But do give me a Constitution check. A Constitution save.
Okay, well.
Don't worry, you didn't draw very much blood.
All right, it's a 12.
Yeah, okay, you're good. You give him a cut on what? His face, his arm?
If his arm is exposed, then he would quickly do that.
Yeah, he's in very basic linen blouse-ish thing and some trousers.
All right, and then quickly, he's going to also message over his Ste'yn. Don't worry, I'm not killing him. I just want an idea of what he is.
All right.
Did Viola see this? I can't tell if she's looking in the direction of us or down the
Viola's
hallway.
watching everything that happens.
All right.
Even when she heard Canyon come in, she's focused on what's happening in here.
His eyes were closed as you did that, and he didn't seem to flinch at all either. As Canyon approaches and he's apologizing about the manacles, the man opens his eyes again.
As Ste'yn, she's preparing to get up and leave. She's going to lean in close again to his face and whisper, "Imagine if you could turn one of the God's own chosen to your side." And then she will get up and walk out.
And Beau's gonna stand directly behind her when she walks out, and when has her as a shield because she's much taller and broader than he is. He's going to then use the opportunity. He's not going to bring the knife up to him, but he's going to use his one finger to get some of the blood off of the knife and then put it to his mouth.
Okay. Ste'yn, when you left, did you look back at him or you gave him your line and you left?
No, she looked back. She's curious about his response.
Yeah. He looks a little bit confused by what you said. Has a general confusion.
Does he look like he's changed back? Is the same? Has his demeanor changed?
Insight check, please.
18?
The confusion leans back into that same kind of blasé attitude he had earlier, before that grin and before all the change happened. And he seems confused as to this cut on his arm. And then he leans his head back. Canyon gives space for you to leave the prison cell, hands you your manacles back, and he says,
"Thank you, those were a souvenir." She puts them back in her bag.
"Yeah, far be it from us to take what we don't need to take. We have enough already." So you had some questions for him?
I think we got all we need.
Already?
Yes.
We can be quite persuasive.
I would make a recommendation, though. Maybe if you are going to continue questioning him, have one of the robed people from the keep with you.
Acolytes?
Yes.
Why? Just because
He doesn't seem to always be him that you're talking to. Could be good to have some holy assistance.
Who's your supervisor?
Take me to the
manager.
Whoever has
just
more
tell me
authority.
what's going on.
Hmm?
Just tell me what's going on.
Who's in charge here?
Come on, guys. I trusted you to go in there.
Well, the thing is, we don't really we didn't get clear answers, but there is an offness.
Okay.
Or maybe we'll just go back to Seiko's Keep. Can talk to them there. But as this man is, he's not going to be much of a threat to you.
That's at least good to know.
But if his attitude changes, call a cleric.
Call a cleric. Got it. Okay. Have a good day today, Canyon. Keep it good. Okay.
You got stuff, Canyon. You work too much.
I have a lot of gold to save up. Some things are expensive. what would be your next plan of attack?
Good question.
Ste'yn,
I know
have
there
any
were.
questions for Beau?
What it tastes
Yes,
like.
they're not as
Oh,
important
actually,
as
yeah. What
this.
did it taste like for him?
Tasted like person, you know.
Okay. So it's like the same as the person from the
human.
alley.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ste'yn's probably gonna make for Saker's Keep again.
Is she telling us
Yeah.
that, or is she just walking?
Yeah,
that
she'll.
direction? Okay.
she'll-
What's the goal there?
There's either dark god, demon, fiend, something of that sort.
Before we leave, don't we have to have these guys sign a piece of paper?
Oh,
Oh,
Canyon.
Oh, Canyon! Oh, that's great.
Okay. Kenyon happily signs your thing. He doesn't ask any questions about it. He's seeming to learn better. He seems to learn better than to ask this particular lot questions. Ste'yn, or are you guys all going together then to Saker's Keep?
Well,
Question or
is the keep and the library that Maria is at within a mile of each other?
I don't think so. Not quite. I think they're a little longer than that. She could just give you the information afterwards.
I was thinking just for coordination purposes.
When are we planning on going on this other assignment?
Tomorrow.
Okay, so maybe I should go visit Ziva and see if she'll let me borrow those night vision goggles.
Well, that's a good idea. What about this? Ste'yn, if you go to the camp, or the keep, you can see all about the gods that can be involved or whatever. Viola can make some arrangements, and I can go talk to Maria, and maybe there's also magical books about it.
all right. We'll meet back at the Wild Pike around supper time.
Yeah, because
Sounds like
right
a
now it's
plan.
probably like, what, 12:30, 1 o'clock?
It's like, yeah, like noonish,
Okay.
12:30, yeah.
Yeah, so pike at
Time's
around
flying.
6. 6 is a good supper time.
Sounds like a plan.
Brenna can't wait for us to all be split up next session.
But she wanted us to tie up loose ends, so we're out on the road come Halloween.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah.
It's true. If you guys want to handle all that and like mid next session you are out the door, let's do it. But Snow, you were not part of these plans. You had been over in the Raleigh district playing for the children for a few hours. A few children wandered by and then were scooped up by their kids or however that went down. You played beautifully, though, I will reiterate. You were there for only a few hours. What was Snow's next plan of attack?
I mean, he's going to spend the rest of the afternoon doing that and then find a tavern somewhere. From there, he will probably play music there as well, which he is also accustomed to doing. Probably eat food since he hasn't done that in a long time. He skipped lunch.
Dang.
After that, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I will know next week.
But he's
I need
staying
those
in
hours
Raleigh.
that he has to think about things to
That's
know what he's
fair.
going to do next.
No worries. But he's staying in the Raleigh district to do all that? He's finding places in the Raleigh, or he's going back to Peace
Yeah.
District? Okay. And with this plan of attack, I think that's where we will end tonight's session. Thank you all from all of us here at Tales from the Catacombs. Catch up and recapture your favorite moments by subscribing to the channel. We have something really fun happening when we hit 100 subscribers, and the sooner we hit it, the cooler the thing will be. I just made that declaration right now, so we'll figure out what that actually means, but it's going to be fun. We appreciate you guys journeying with us to bring clean, wholesome content to the world of tabletop RPGs. We upload new content from our tabletop adventures all the time, and we promise it is worth your while. Here's where you will find our sessions twice a month, live, and a particularly huge thank you to my players, David, who plays Beau, and he streams on Twitch under You Hate to See It, Catherine, who plays Ste'yn and dabbles in her geek circles on Twitter and Instagram under A Catholic Geek, and she also helps run Inkwells Anvils, which is a place for storytellers to pursue the good, true, and beautiful with their worlds and words. You can find them on Instagram and Twitter at Inkwells Anvils. Kassie, who plays Viola, and she can be found on Instagram at Coffee, Koffeeeh, and now also on Twitter, though a little less often, but still there, under KOFFEEJH. And Josh, who plays Snow, and you can find him and wave to him right here when you find him here with us. I'm Brenna, I am your storyteller for this adventure, and we will see you back here next time. Safe travels until we meet again.
Oh, but bonus, on the 29th of
bonus.
this month, there's a
Oh,
premiere.
yeah.
There's a premiere coming that we have recorded. So 6 o'clock that Sunday. It's probably going to be 3 to 4 hours, so grab some popcorn and probably your dinner because
Sit
we
with-
had
or
a
bring
long
your dinner with
session.
you. Yeah,
We had a
bring your
long
dinner with you,
session.
sit with us. It was so long, but it was so worth it. Yeah, sit with us on October 29th at 6 p.m. here on YouTube for our premiere of our Halloween special of Agents of Oblivion, which is using a new system to us, Savage Worlds by Pinnacle Entertainment Games, and they are fantastic, and I really enjoyed the system. So I'm excited that I got a chance to play with these guys. It was phenomenal.
Yes,
So
and
make sure you are there.
had a fancy background like this. I just switched over to it. This is a sneak preview, everyone. All right,
Preview. Oh, it's on a delay, so I can't see it yet.
sneak
Oh,
preview.
It's cool.
Gosh dang it. I'll see it later. It's fine. So again, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for joining us, and safe travels until we meet again.